Thanks for joining me today. I'll be sharing this fantastic card that I created with a new wonderful stamp called Viking from My Favorite Things. So let's just jump right in. This is the new stamp set that I recently received from My Favorite Things, and I have to say I have been eyeballing this for quite some time, and then when I was ready to order it, of course it was out of stock. So finally came. I'm super excited to get started with it. So you can see here I'm using my Misty, and then I'm going to ink it up with Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And again, I love this Misty. It was really something I didn't think I would use that much, but I love it. And I have also recently transitioned over to using a chamois to clean my stamps, and you can see, look at that, spotless. Love it. So I'm just going to put that back on the carrier sheet, put it away. Otherwise, I lose things. And then I'm going to get started coloring my Viking. And I'm really just going to step away and let you watch the coloring and enjoy that. So I'll be back near the end. Alright, and now that we're done with the coloring, I'm going to work on the background. So I'm going to just take this piece of orange paper, a little bit of spice marmalade through the raised stencil. This is a Tim Holtz product from Stampers Anonymous. Now I'm going to come back in with a little bit of carved pumpkin. And just working that through my stencil. And lastly, ripe persimmon. I just kind of wanted a subtle ray look on here. And then I'm going to pull up my stencil. And then I do spray a little bit of water on here just to react with the ink. It doesn't really show up too much in the video simply because of the orange on orange. And then I'm going to add a little bit of vintage photo around the edge. And then I did actually trim this panel down, so I did have to come back in and re-ink it, but it's not a big deal. So here I am re-inking my edges after I've trimmed it down. And then just trying to lay that out. And I'm going to add a piece of black cardstock just to set off that orange, because I really wanted something kind of more dynamic and sort of jump off the page at you. So just put a little bit of adhesive. And I don't always work this way, but I decided I trimmed the panel a little bit, but then I went ahead and trimmed it after I attached it to my orange panel. And still just working with that layout there. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment, have a Norse day. And again, using my Misty, lining up my sentiment, and then using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And cleaning it with my chamois. And now I'm going to come back in and add my Viking. And I'm just going to apply some foam tape to the back of him. This tape is sort of old, so it takes a little bit to get the backing off that, but I like to use my supplies completely up, so even though it's not fantastic, it still works, and the sticky part of it is still fine. So I made sure to get a little bit of foam tape on kind of my major pieces there, and then I'm trimming just a really teeny tiny one on the handle of his axe, just to make sure that that didn't sag or fall off or get squished. And then I'm going to just adhere him to my card front. And then I did add another really thin, fine piece of black cardstock behind that. I just didn't film it, but you'll see it on the end. And then I just added a couple of adhesive pearls from Hero Arts, and that is it. This was a really fun project. I really enjoyed coloring it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. So thank you so much for joining me today on the creation of my Viking card. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this, or visit me at jenniferminer.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.